Sup kiddos, IzzyGrae aka TheGraeman here, and welcome back to another episode of GRAEWATCH. I can't believe that we are on episode 4 of this segment, and I am so grateful to all of you out there who have continued to watch these videos. I also need to give a quick shout out to all of the people who make these videos possible. First and foremost, thank you go out to Chris and Maria over at Hybrid Art. They are responsible for some of the amazing artwork you guys see in these videos. Second thanks go out to Zane and Anna, also known as MySkyIsRed, on her own YouTube channel. They are my two chief editors, and they are the reason that these videos turn out looking as amazing as they do. And last but certainly not least, thank you go out to BlametheController over on his own YouTube channel, who has just actually started releasing new Overwatch fan-made heroes of his own for the first time in a while. Now, without further ado, let us meet the hero of this week's episode. Welcome, the bastard son of the Super Soldier Hero Project, Prototype. Nathaniel Cross was born into a military family. As a young boy, he dreamed of joining the military alongside his father and 3 older siblings. He trained as a young man and was expected to do great things. Unfortunately, this all was not meant to be. After 12 years in serving in the military, Cross fell from a 3rd-story building and had his back broken. After waking up in the hospital, Cross was distraught. His dreams were in shambles, and he could not find a way to fix this mistake. It was then that a young man by the name of Jack Morrison approached Cross and asked him if he would be interested in becoming the member of a group of people undergoing a series of genetic enhancements. Cross signed up immediately, desperate to find some solution to what had until that moment seemed an impossible task. After the experimentation was complete, Cross was fuming. He was mobile, yes, but his overall speed and agility were drastically lacking. He could barely keep up with first-year recruits as somebody who had been serving in the military for almost 15 years at this point. Resentment for soldiers such as Morrison and Reyes began. Why were they so lucky as to serve their country while he was stuck with a damaged spine? It was then that a man by the name of Grimson approached him and offered not only to fix his back, but to surpass his former performance by a significant margin. For the second time, Cross said, "I'm in." Little did he know that the true beginning of the end of his career was right around the corner. Soon after getting the newest round of surgeries, both genetic and bionic, Cross was reinstated his rank and status. He was soon given his own command over a group known as the Roadblock Brigade. It was soon made apparent that Cross was different. He certainly was faster and stronger, and his senses were heightened. However, undergoing all the trauma due to his former injury, 2 rounds of very intense surgery, and the exhilarating sensation of the performance of his new body had left him with a bit of a superiority complex and had put immense strain on his mind. This all came to a head during a mission years later, where under his command, Cross lost the entirety of the Roadblock Brigade due to his own one-man army tactics and his negligence. The entire brigade was reported killed or missing in action. Cross was stripped of his rank and dishonorably discharged. It was this mistake that forced Cross to see the error of his ways. He set out into the world as a solo artisan, calling himself Prototype. Being a self-centered man for most of his life leading up to this, he strived to help some of the lives he had ruined due to his obsession with perfection. He roams the world as a ghost, untraceable, untrackable. He has become a scourge to the unlawful, almost to a fault. Before we get into the abilities and kit, I just wanted to enter a new portion of this segment where I talk about potential goals that I wanted to reach when constructing a certain hero. For Prototype, these were as follows. I wanted another person from the Super Soldier Project that was a bit more of a bad egg. Soldier 76 obviously has his own baggage, but I wanted somebody who was a bit of a bad guy-esque type character from the get-go. I wanted someone who was also highly adaptable and also someone who put out a huge amount of damage with little to no inkling for their own safety or well-being. Last but certainly not least, I wanted a very unique weapon, in this case a highly modified rifle, and all of the abilities of said hero to revolve around said weapon. Prototype's primary fire is the AK-47,000, also known as Beth. Type is a hit scan in a 3-bullet burst. Damage is 20 per shot, so 60 per burst. Fall off range is 35 to 50 meters. Rate of fire is 6 shots per second, or 2 bursts. It can critical, ammo is 38, and reload time is 1.25 seconds, so about 0.25 seconds faster than your average character. True to his mega damage output, Prototype's secondary fire is an RPG type weapon, actually, that has been modified and attached to the bottom of the original rifle. Type is an arcing projectile, damage is 75 per shot, AoE is 5 meters, rate of fire is 1 shot per 1.5 seconds. A bit slow, I will admit, but I had to keep things balanced. Overall ammo of the RPG is 6. Prototype's first ability is Smoke Bomb. Basically, you launch a smoke grenade that bounces once before it begins to eject a thick plume of smoke. This smoke is either harmful to your enemies or helpful to your allies. Type is a buff-debuff AoE, healing is 20 per second, and damage is also 20 per second. Duration is 3 seconds, cooldown is 5. I wanted to have at least one team assist ability, but it couldn't just be helpful, it had to do damage as well. Prototype's secondary ability is Flashbang. This sees you firing a concussion grenade that stuns opponents. Type is an AoE debuff, area of effect is 10 meters. The effect is that your vision is blurred and your hearing is replaced with that high-pitched whine associated with concussion blasts. Duration is 5 seconds, cooldown is 8. Third ability in Prototype's arsenal is Incendiary Round. This sees you firing an explosive rocket at high velocity. Type is a projectile AoE, area of effect is 15 meters, damage is 95, and fall-off rate is 50 to 80 meters. Cooldown is a whopping 6 seconds. Basically, I wanted something so incredibly destructive that if you hear it go off, there are only two things you can do: hide or pray. Moving on to Prototype's passive. Familiar Terrain is almost a parkour type ability due to Prototype's amazing eyesight. He is always thinking 5 moves ahead and can adapt as issues arise. Vaulting over low objects without having to jump or slow down is basically what this ability is all about. You can still fire both primary and secondary, however, all other abilities are not available for the split second that you may be vaulting something. Lastly, the ultimate. Adrenaline Overdrive sees Prototype gaining almost a second wind of sorts. This allows you to run faster, jump higher, and hit harder than all of your enemies. Only your primary and secondary fire are usable for these 8-second duration. The overall cost is 4,000, but that will be damage taken as opposed to damage that you have actually dealt out. It was one of my ways to keep somebody who would be interested in playing Prototype out on the front lines and make sure that he's in the thick of the action, dealing as much damage as possible, and also being a very, very lovely target for his enemies that will actually low-key assist him in getting that ultimate ready to go. And finally, a quick player's view for your enjoyment. Well, that's it, and I believe we have reached the end of yet another wonderful episode of GRAEWATCH. Thanks again go out to MySkyIsRed and my buddy Zane. They are the chief editors of these videos. They are the reason they end up looking as amazing as they do. Shoutouts go to Chris and Maria over at Hybrid Art. Feel free to go check them out, get yourself a commission. They do an absolutely phenomenal job. Thanks again go out to BlametheController for continuing to inspire me to do my absolute best and make these videos that the best they can be. Also, Patreon coming soon, GRAEWATCH exclusive content, such things as professionally animated origin stories, how I built the character videos, and extra skins, emotes, voice lines, voice acting stuff that you guys can enjoy. Head over to there. They should be dropping in the next few months, and I cannot begin to express how excited I am about that. Lastly, follow me and friend me on Overwatch. I'm there most days of the week because goodness knows what else we're doing in this current climate. Feel free to like, subscribe, and share the video. Also, hit that notification bell so you can get updated every single time a new video drops on the channel. And until next time, you kids know the drill. Be good, and if you can't be good, be safe. And if you can't be safe, make sure that after all the dust is cleared that they've named something after you. Until next time, kiddos. Bye!